Some 20 years ago, I had the privilege of taking a class from Dr. Al Will. I ended up counting him as one of my two favorite professors of all time, and it was botany of tropical fruit trees. So most of the class obviously was standard botany, but we did have one grafting session. And what he had us graft was white sapote, because he told us that almost all his students were successful grafters of white sapote. So that was the one to pick so no one would get discouraged. Their first grafts would actually take. I hope I'm having that kind of luck here today. Obviously, when we did his class, we were working with graftwood more this size. Not, that's a big difference.
I was thinking that one of the advantages of having that thickness is that I think it must last better, with shipping and everything. And so, I was thinking that's probably a good thing. I'm hoping that, of course, that it all takes, but I think that this thickness is probably very durable. So here's our white sapote tree. It was making very small white sapote, and I grafted two varieties onto this tree months ago, and they're doing well. Just yesterday, Bob from California sent us his variety of white sapote. It is North Park, and it's looking really good. These scions are very healthy. He's cut them so that the last bud is on this longer side of the scion. This is the bottom. But this scion is a lot bigger than what I graft with my little razor blade. So Har is here with his professional grafting equipment. He's sharpening his blade, his grafting knife right now, and he is going to graft some white sapote onto this tree. See, it's a project tray, so I put them in the project tray.
Use the back of this one to try to finish touching this up. I don't have my fine grained stone with me here. I often do this anyway when I'm up in the tree, so I have both of these knives in the apron. Kind of like what chefs do in restaurants. Their knife is quite sharp, but they'd like it a little bit sharper. They'll run the knives on each other. Hopefully that'll do it. This is some really big graft wood. Hard. Nice one of the spots I was going to graft on. Maybe. This may have been the graft that died, I'm not sure. Well, that's definitely big enough. Let's see. So that point is on the top. Wouldn't want to put it upside down. Can you see anything back there?
Yeah, I think we got it. So you're going to do a veneer graft here, looks like.
This much is just to check the width, and then I'll do further down. I don't really want to be pulling toward my face, so I'm pulling the graftwood away from me, trying to hold the knife steady. I dug in a little too deep up here. When you're in front of your face like this, be sure you're not putting force on the knife other than to hold it away from yourself. Looks about right. I'm not used to doing big grafts like that. This is a big grafting rubber. Oops. Start over. And since the other side of it is cut longer, I need one more rubber up here. Some buddy tape on here to seal up this cut area. My tape is a little on the old side, as in having been exposed to too much heat. Still working though, coming up a bit ugly from the roll. There it broke. One more piece try to get a butterfly wrap. It's kind of easy to mess up on that. But we got it. It's been a blazing hot day, and we'll have more blazing hot days. And this is up in the sun. Which is a problem. They could cook to death here. That rubber is just to make sure the butterfly wrap doesn't come off, which seals in behind between the graft and the tree. I meant to bring a paper towel. I have one in the truck. I'll be right back. This paper towel will reflect part of the heat, insulate the graft wood from the rest. I'm leaving the top bud out. If it doesn't cook to death, it'll grow. And if it does get cooked to death, the other buds below it should be all right. After we take off the paper towel in about 3 weeks, I suppose. Well, should do it. And you wanted a top cleft one. Let's see. Looks about right. It's actually good for the scion to be slightly larger than the rootstock when one's doing a top cleft. Or we can just say cleft graft. I need to be able to see. When we're grafting up in trees, we often get ourselves in slightly weird positions. Like I would rather be able to look down on the top of that to see exactly where I'm cutting. But I'll have to make do with some guessing. Right now I'm killing the buds by each of these leaves so that the rootstock won't immediately burst out with new growth. And it would normally do that when we cut off the top of the branch, because every bud by every leaf, and even more so the terminal bud up at the end of the branch, is sending down a hormone that suppresses growth of buds further down the tree. This that I cut off up here is not nearly big enough, so I'm going to cut again down here where it's thicker. Yep, that should do it. Make it a little easier to see also. That actually split a little bit as I was cutting. That's not real good because it makes the cut less smooth. The grain of the wood can stick out quite a bit. Notice this knife is pointed right at my belly, but it isn't moving, is it? So I'm already resting my wrist on my belly. Don't think that that's a small point. It's not trivial to keep from slicing your knife into your belly. That's pretty close to perfect. I've had this buddy tape come loose way too soon in blazing hot weather, so that extra tie on the outside tries to make sure it stays on where it's most important. And I might as well put paper towel on that also. If we were doing these grafts in October, we wouldn't bother to put these paper towels on. Or November, anytime from mid-October through through March, early March, we wouldn't bother with the paper towels. Guess I can put another one right here, or is there another spot you would prefer?
Yeah, I think one more. Oh, yeah, you've got the stuff right there.
Yeah.
But it works out well to have them all in the same area.
There's a fourth piece, but that's way bigger. So
I think the 3 would be good.
I'm going to take some of the weight off this one that I grafted on. You don't want it to break off at the graft. Does want to have kind of a knife sharp bottom to the wedge. This bud here, at the top of the wedge, I want to face upward in case the buds higher up don't grow. That one right at the wedge will be good enough. I cut that wedge a little too long. One inconvenient thing that can happen is that birds can come and pull stuff off to put in their nests or just out of curiosity. Okay, I can feel the bud there on the other side.
Well, thank you very much, Har. Got 3 grafts of North Park on the white sapote tree.